It means that there is no way to create universal haptic language, right? Or universal haptic communication, or it's about the levels of intensity that we need to be able to change.
Yeah, so I think that like universality, I mean, I don't think it's possible to create a universal anything, like, because, one size fits all means that it fits most people pretty terribly, right? Like,
Well, yeah, sure. Some averages. Let's say, I want to, have a haptic experience of waterfall. It's kind of, across the population, waterfall means one thing, right? For all kind
exactly.
But waterfalls could change, one perceived waterfall as being bigger or smaller, but as a concept itself, it's still a waterfall.
Exactly.
Do you think can you do something like this using haptics?
Yeah, imagine how hard it was to do this with wine. Like,
With
hey,
what?
it's sweet, but like, imagine how difficult the first winemakers had to like, hey, what's the difference between your wine and this wine? Well, my wine is fruitier, bolder, a little bit dirtier, bitter, like, but it's like that whole vocabulary of like, it's a whole vocabulary,
Yeah, so
like
which is
you
also
learn that.
missing, right, in haptic kind of industry, right? Like
Exactly.
we are trying to create it. It's kind of there, but it's not universal yet. So
Exactly. And like, and the thing is that like, like universality is like, you can't, I mean, you can attempt to make universal standards, of course, and have those accepted. But at the end of the day, like, people, the reason that standards become universal is, I mean, outside of like kind of like being like deeply dictated from the top, that is because they're valuable and they're very useful, right? And I think that like as a haptic community, like, I mean, haptics has been around for hundreds of years, but like as a community, like we really are just at the beginning of exploring what's possible for touch. Like I went to design school. I took entire classes on how the eye processes color information and how if you put this color next to this color, and if you put this color next to this color, you're going to create a totally different emotional response based off of the color values and combinations. Where's that for touch? Like, where's my haptic design education?